Oh look, they got durian. I don't know what you call these in Thai. I call these Goya. That's the one I use. Right here. See, it's raining a bit, so our shopping's going to get wet. See, this is a negative of this. What do you do with your shopping? Unless you get a cover for this. Pen, we should go and buy a Fortuna. Pajero.
Yeah.
Well, shall we stop or not?
Up to you. I don't know. We have to no hour now. Really. I'm quite happy to get you breakfast.
Well, shall we stop or not?
Yes, then breakfast.
We went over to that Tesco. Well, it's not Tesco anymore, it's Lotus. We went over there to buy fish food. But it's raining, so we can't bring the fish food back because it'll get wet in the back of the car. And sometimes in that Lotus, they sell like meals, and I went to get something to eat, but none of the meals are ready. Right, Bung Bung's awake now, and he's fighting with the cat. Pen, put that cat away, because I'm gonna...
I didn't know Bang Bang's awake.
Well, I'm gonna have a crash in a minute, aren't I? I've got to look at the road.
I didn't know Bang Bang's awake.
Bung Bung, sit down, sit. Good boy, sit. What was I saying? They didn't have any meals ready in the supermarket, so it's a bit of a pointless trip. And they've got this coffee shop in here on the way back, so I'm just saying to Pen, maybe we should stop, get some breakfast, get a coffee. What if they don't let cats inside then? Well, you better ask them. They have this place called Cuppa Cottage. It's pretty good, but it's a little bit expensive, but I guess we're here now, so. It's good coffee in here.
Or like, chicken chop.
Oh no, it fell over. What are you doing? What are you asking me?
What this company that got coffee? What country?
So they have quite a big menu here, but we are here for the breakfast. So that's the breakfast. All looks fine, but there's no butter. $256 baht. It's got big sticky out wheels on that one. Don't know, a bit much maybe. Maybe not practical. I do quite like those Ranger Raptors, but they are quite expensive, aren't they? I'll put the price on the screen. I can't remember. All right, we're back home now. That breakfast was okay. 250 baht for both of us with the drinks, not too bad. It keeps raining at the moment. Oh, yesterday, you know what happened? Right, there was rain, right? And then the rain was like clearing up, like it was gone. But as it was clearing up, there was still these like thunderclaps going on. Well, we were in the house and there was this big like thunderclap and a flash. I think I saw it flashing out the back door, and the bang was like right above us. It was hard to tell exactly where it was because it was so, the flash was so immediate. And all the electric went off in the house, but the garage was still on, but the house electric tripped. So the lightning must have tripped the house electric. At first I thought it had hit the house. I should go around, I have to walk around the other side and check there's no holes in the roof. But I don't think it hit the house, I don't know. It was all very strange. When we drove in the farm just now, there's some guy down here in the canal. Pen reckons he's fishing for snails. So we thought we'd go and have a quick look, because I haven't seen these. But in the spirit of prepping and SHTF, I should know where all the edible snails are. You know, World War III, all that stuff. I know some of you are probably rolling your eyes, but you'll be thanking me when you're tucking into your big snail steaks. So let's some foraging going on. I guess the snails must attach themselves to some of the plant life or something.
Yeah, and then they have eggs ใช่ไหมมาเห็นไข่ด้วยใช่ไหมอ๋อ attack on the plant.
Right, the snails stick themselves to the plants. They're pretty big.
Oh, they're young.
They feel hard, they're not squishy. I wonder what's inside. I guess there must be a snail inside that.
Yeah, we open them up, yeah, this and clean them
Yeah.
with like vinegar and then cut them up.
Yeah, people do know like what they can find here and there to eat around here. Yeah, there might be some little plant growing down there by itself and they'll know, oh, I can use that because it's got that flavour for my soup or whatever. There's a video on YouTube about the Thai military training American military personnel, like how to live in the jungle. And they're getting them to eat all sorts of things, like cut the head off a snake and then you can drink the blood straight out of the snake. So there's all sorts if you know what you're doing. What's he picking over there then? What's he picking now?
Taken that to put in a canal, the canal we come from.
So the snail likes to eat that?
Yeah.
So he's picking that to put in the canal because that attracts the snails. Let's see. We'll see. You got to know this stuff. So look, we're bringing our shopping home. We went over there to get fish food, but it's raining. So if we put the fish food in the back, it'll get wet, it'll get ruined. So this is one of those days where I'm like, oh, if I had a Fortuna with the big boot on the back, then all our shopping could be in there. It'd be protected from the rain. There are times it would be more practical. Remember we went out up the mountain the other day with the guy called P. Shy over there, right? He's got two different cars. He's got that Pajero. So when he's out with his family, they're all in the Pajero. But he's also got a single cab truck, I think a Hilux, for his farm. So he's got two vehicles. One for when you're out with the family going shopping and one messy one for your farm. And I think that might be the right way to do it. Instead of doing it like me and Pen have, where we've gone for like the do-it-all 4x4 double cab Hilux, maybe the right way is to have two separate vehicles. So what I was thinking is, like P. Som Pon had up in the mountain on the other side, you have the Suzuki Caribbean for your farm. 4x4 single cab Suzuki Caribbean. That's nice and small. You could actually use that to drive around here, deliver cow poo around, move stuff around the farm. I know there's not a lot to move now. I could do with the wheelbarrow most of the time. But later on when the trees are bigger, when there's a bit of fruit, for getting in and out to the back of the farm, a little Suzuki Caribbean might be just a ticket. And then swap that for a Fortuna. And then the other benefit of doing it that way around is you get a second vehicle. Maybe. The last few days I've been doing the door frames, so I'm getting them all off and sanding them down. The usual stuff of cutting all the places for the hinges. I've ordered the next 4 doors, like the last 4 doors. So while I'm waiting for those to be delivered, I thought I'd better get on with the frame. Seemed like the sensible thing to do. I've got one more of those to sand and then that'll be it. And yeah, look, what happened the other day, me and Pen were standing in here. The rain had been going for about an hour, but it kind of like passed. It was, you know, like you have a bit of like bad weather, but then it's gone. It was gone, or so we thought. But then there was this enormous bang and a flash, and it all happened so quickly. But I thought I saw it out of the corner of my eye, like coming from that direction over there, like down there through the back door somewhere. At the time, we really weren't sure what had happened. And still not, but at the time it was very sort of shocking and confusing. What on earth was that? So we think perhaps it hit that coconut palm there, and that's right where our electric pole is as well, so maybe it caused a surge in our electric. Someone asked me at some point in the past if I put lightning conductors on the house, and I didn't. I was intending to, and I was thinking about doing that for quite a while. I even bought the lightning conductor, the copper thing that goes up on the roof. It's over there somewhere. And when they were putting the roof on, I was discussing with them how we could do that and the electricians and all that. But what it came down to was like no one could really figure out how to attach the lightning rod to the roof tiles without making a hole in the roof tiles and therefore compromising the roof tiles. I think what they do is they stick it to a second tile which is then stuck to the normal tiles with a bit of cement. That's what it looks like they've done it on a building in the town over there. I'm surprised the roofing company didn't know how to do that. It surprises me that it's something that they're not doing regularly, you know, being a roofing company. But the reason I ended up not bothering to do it was because no one really seemed sure of how to do it. And everyone I spoke to about it was saying, you don't need it. So I was like, well, okay, don't need it then. And as I mentioned, there's a building in the town with one. And that's what I said. Well, well, how come the building in the town has it then? The one in the town's a little bit taller than this. But they said, well, it's a government building and government buildings just have to have them because of regulations. But you don't need one. So that's what happened. And generally speaking, the lightning does tend to hit the hills, the mountains up here. Obviously, that's the highest point. So most of the strikes will hit here, or... I'm pretty sure I've seen one hit down there on the rubber trees, which again is taller than our house. And the little bit of Googling I did about the subject, it seemed to say that it will hit whatever's highest around. So as long as your house is not the highest thing, then it should be okay. And these trees we have, our neighbours' trees are all higher than the house. So all of these trees here, that coconut thing, that and that are all higher than the house. In a few years' time, our trees as well are going to be taller than the house. So, I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? You can never tell. Better safe than sorry and all that. But I guess it really comes down to just have house insurance and make sure it covers lightning strikes, which I think the policies do. I think they cover like natural disaster stuff. So. Well, this is what I've been doing for the last few days. It's quite time consuming. I think this is the 4th day I've been doing this job. This is the last one. I just got to sand this and then I'm ready for like the doors to be delivered. I was doing it by hand before, but a few weeks back I bought this sander, which is pretty good actually. I like this. Well, that's finally done. I've been doing this for about 2 hours. It really does take a long time. This tool is good, but I find it doesn't make the job any faster. It just ends up with a better result, like it's smoother. Get a nicer finish, but it still takes time. Rounding off all the edges, getting in the corners, it just takes ages. But this is the last door frame, so I'm glad this job is finished. I'm doing that all week. I've had enough.
Good boy. What happened to you? Good boy, bang bang. Barking. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop to mommy say. Bang bang. No more barking.
I just wanted to show I did that architrave as well. It's not perfect, but it's okay. I couldn't get it perfect really because this is not perfectly straight. So either it's straight with that or straight with that, but it can't be straight with both. So, but there was a step behind it, so I had to router all that out. Fortunately, I can't just get a piece of wood and stick it on, because there's also a lip to deal with. This step here. And then router in the step for that, but it's really okay. I haven't fixed it on that well, just in case I want to improve it later, but that's done as well. And our wardrobe area is all done. It's all painted. No skirting board yet. I don't know what I'll do about that yet. And these are our temporary wardrobes. We had these 2 shelves out in the garage, so we've just given them a little bit of a clean up, and we'll keep all our clothes on that for now. And I painted that pipe to hide it against the wall. I think that looks okay. I do always check my boots before I put them on. The only thing I ever seem to find are these big bloody frogs. I mean, look at the size of that thing. I've got a leftover bag of vitamins, a bit of leftover vitamins, and I've got 3 bags of cow poo left as well. So as I mentioned in the previous video, all the trees along here by the palm trees going up that corner as well, all struggling a little bit, not doing very well. Not sure of the reason why. Is it the palm trees? Is it the soil quality? I'm not sure. Someone said in the comments maybe the yellowing is like a nitrogen deficiency. So I suppose so, yeah. It's either like a deficiency of something or other, or the soil quality is affecting vitamin uptake. The last time I put the cow poo out, I give all of these trees like a couple of extra spoons of cow poo each. It doesn't seem to have had much of an effect this time. There are times where we've put vitamins out of cow poo and they have seemed to gone a bit greener, but I haven't noticed it this time around. But anyway, got these leftovers, so I thought I'd give them a bit extra and see if that has any effect on them. Come on, cat. Where are you? Time to wake up now. Don't chuck it out, it sleeps all day and then keeps us up all night. So around dinner time we chuck it outside. Well, we'll give this a test run. I've just clamped on a couple of pieces of wood. So let's put a sheet over this. Put one of his favourite blankets inside. So I'm blocking all Pen's cupboards a bit, so I'll have to come up with something better than that. But maybe just for tonight to test it out, see if we can tempt Bung Bung to sleep in there. I'll leave this open as well with a towel in there, so he can go in there if he wants to. I think it's when there's thunder, it kind of drives him to look for the safest place he feels he can find, which is in there. So I don't blame him. I don't really want to shut the door and force him to go somewhere else if that's where he really wants to be. But I'm hoping we can tempt him with something else. They've just got back in the car. I'll go and see if they got any fish food. All right. What'd you get?
I just fish food. Oh.
It's in the way of your cupboard, but everyone in. Come on, quickly. You go in there and
He's not good. Come on, Bung
Bung
Bung.
Bung, come have a look. Go on, in there.
Oh, he's big. He's Bung Bung big.
Go on, have a look, have a sniff. Not you, Gorgie, it's not your bed. Out. You bloody huskies. Gorgie, what do you think you're doing?
I think if I were to mull, I'm cooler. That's it.
He's going to claim it for his own now. Well, hopefully Bung Bung can be tempted later. We'll put a bone in there, that might tempt him to go in. We did try to get Bung Bung to go in there, and he did try it, but he wanted to go back into here, so we'll leave him in there for now. Hopefully he'll try it eventually and get used to it. Alright. Right, no fighting.
Gorgie, he really wants to take you out.
Hey, Gorgie just wants to wake you up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes Gorgie and the cat get a bit aggro with each other.
Come on, then we go out.
Like the cat will hiss at Gorgie and then Gorgie bares his teeth. But I think when the cat hisses at Gorgie, Gorgie gets afraid.
Come on.
So I think the cat scares Gorgie a bit sometimes. So normally Bung Bung like goes to bed on his own, and then these two will come outside, like have a walk around for a bit. Once they're out here, they seem to get along okay.